Gorgeous! Hey guys, welcome to Acoustic Paradiso on Andertons TV. I'm Pete.
I'm Mick, hello.
Hello. Right. These looks great. When I saw this with the neck here, I really like that. I was like, oh my god, look at that, it's a black neck, I love it. It's great.
We seem to have travelled back to the 1930s.
We have.
In a way.
Yeah.
This is Martin's new 17 series.
Yep.
Coffee required after that.
Coffee
picking
required
fest.
after some picking.
So, the 17 series has been around on and off from Martin for many years. Many years. Right all the way back, in fact.
Yeah.
We've said this in previous videos, but I'll just say it again. When you're looking at Martin guitars, the first thing you hear, which is usually like OM or D or triple O or Aut, as they say in the
Aut. Yeah.
In the States, is the body size, and the number usually refers to the level of spec or ornamentation. So right back into the
that
day,
bling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 18 is kind of mahogany and spruce, and then 28 is rosewood and spruce, and it also denotes various levels of ornamentation over the years. So things like 15 and
solid,
17.
Solid mahogany, 15. Yeah.
Slightly less ostentatious spec, shall we say.
Yeah, more of a working man's guitar. You know, when, was it during the Depression, Great Depression?
Yeah, so let's rewind all the way back then. Great Depression in the 1930s in America, and of course people couldn't afford really lovely guitars. The steel string acoustic guitar was just really getting going. The Dreadnought, of course, introduced at the very end of the 20s there. Also the triple O Martin's.
OM was the first one, was it? Like the orchestral model, wasn't that Perry Bechtel or somebody? And
first ever
long scale length
14 fret.
Yeah, Martin is innovating
string,
a lot of, and been around since 1833.
Yeah.
1839 in the same factory, same run in the same family since the beginning.
A lot of history.
You know, a lot of history which you can go and have a look at. We're not going to get into that too much. But
so come the 1920s, steel string acoustic guitar starts to take over from banjo in orchestras.
Thank God. No offense.
Come on.
I've got a banjo. Actually, I've got two banjos. So
we love banjos. Yeah. But there has to be a banjo.
Well, there has to be. Yeah, the guy left two banjos in his car, and there was a breaking, and he came back. Oh, there was one, or two, whatever.
Guy left his banjo in his car. It got broken into, and there were two there when he got back.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a cultural thing in England. Anyway, whatever.
Yeah.
We love banjos.
Yeah.
We love bluegrass. But the steel string acoustic guitar was taking over from the banjo, and it was going crazy, expanding. Guitars were getting bigger. Steel strings were really taking off. Bosh. Depression hits. Bosh. Nobody's got any money, can't afford expensive guitars. So what happens? Well, Gibson, as it turns out, started making much cheaper guitars, as did Martin. Much more simple, and finally getting to the point, these guitars hark back to that very simple sort of Depression era aesthetic.
Yeah, it reminds me of one of these old films with Bonnie and Clyde or something. The whole sort of thing with the dark tuners and the it's like smoky sort of that. You know what I mean? That sort of era.
Well,
you know,
actually, interesting.
When you look at them, like the black with the white here on, it looks like. Yeah, it's great.
As a point of interest, I was around at a mate's house last night, and he pulls out this case, and in the case is this late 1920s, I would guess, early 30s Recording King guitar.
Oh wow!
That brand was around all the way back then. Yeah. Probably built in Kalamazoo, and it was kind of similar to this. It was absolutely dead flat top, kind of very sort of austerity being a thing these days, but it was a bigger thing in the Great Depression.
Yeah, Art Deco and all that sort of stuff.
No, austerity. No money.
Oh, sorry, I completely sorry.
Yeah.
That's my Danish. Sorry, austerity.
Very plain, simple guitars.
I'm from Daneland.
And it reminded me a lot of this thing. So 17 series, there are two body sizes.
Yeah.
Triple O and double O.
Yeah.
Triple O being Martin's standard triple O size.
Yeah.
And double O being Martin's standard size.
Yeah.
And as you'll see, what Peter's holding there, a double O 12 fret.
A double O 12 fret, yeah.
And they're both available in
Whiskey Sunset.
Whiskey Sunset.
Oh, right.
How romantic is that?
That's very romantic.
And Black Smoke.
But it's a romance on your own kind of thing, isn't it? Whiskey at sunset.
There's enough comments already, mate.
Exactly.
And Black Smoke, slightly less romantic, but there we are.
Yeah. No, actually, I really. Martin has started making these dark guitars again, haven't they? Because they didn't make a lot of. You know, there was the signature model of
Johnny Cash.
That's it. He's the guy. You know, wasn't that the only black model they made for a long time?
It's always been a custom order, I think.
Yeah, it's a custom order, wasn't it? So, but this is just gorgeous. It's like really, really thin lacquer on the mahogany. So, spruce top on the 17s, because they did a D17 at some point.
Yeah,
so I think they still do, don't they?
Like all Martin guitars, the specs have changed a little bit over the years, and 17s have represented different things at different times. The last 17s I can remember was they did a gloss finish spruce topped, because the 15 series, which has been extremely successful for Martin over the last 10 years or so, people wanted to see them with spruce tops, so that's what the 17 series was for a while. But for 2016, this much more vintage aesthetic. They call the finish an open pore finish, which is what you were just talking about.
But you can definitely see,
which is kind of very thin, very satin. It's sunk into the grain. Yeah, very much keeping with ultimate simplicity. They're light as a feather.
Yeah, it's ridiculous how light they are.
Lightly built.
I mean,
and just harking back to that very strong sort of blues, country blues aesthetic.
And I think we should listen to them.
We should. Have we finished the specs, Pete? Probably. These really nice golden age.
Yeah, I like tuners. that. Yeah, like smoky. The white bindings. Very simple. I've got a Turkish torch shell. I've got a white here.
Yeah, very simple Rosewood fingerboard and bridge.
Yeah.
And
very simple built guitar.
Yeah.
Really. So.
And kind of, as we've said in videos past, up until this point, trends in acoustic guitars have been sort of almost industry-wide. You know, like when cutaway electros first came out, everyone was playing those, and then there was a sort of return to more traditional aesthetics 10 or 15 years ago, and everyone's playing them. Yeah. There's the market has since fragmented, and you can have anything in any style you want, and that's great. Yeah. But small body vintage style guitars seem to be a bit of a thing.
I think we've mentioned that before, haven't we? Some of the videos that that's very popular. You know, I've got a little 015M tiny little thing, and it just sounds great. As you know. Yeah. It's a great guitar. Anyway,
easy to manage, good for recording.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter if you scratch it.
And again, just point out really quickly to the Eagle Eye. Again, as I said before in the last Martin video we did, they don't ship them with the end pins in. It's just shipping, and you know, it comes in a case. You let the guitar settle in, and then you can put it in there, or you can put a pickup in if you like. There is no pickup in these.
And there's me thinking it was a tiny sound hole, Pete.
Hello. The tiniest sound hole in the world, but it sounds best when you mic it up through here. It's absolutely incredible. Fabulous. Fabulous.
Right, let's hear them then. So he's got the. I tell you what. Why don't we start with the two double O's?
Yeah, let's do that.
The 12th fret and the 14th fret.
12th fret, 14th fret.
Better just check we're in tune.
Perfect.
Close enough for 1930s country blues, yeah?
Exactly. So, I've got a... Should we do the same kind of picks again? Have you got your... have you got a nylon?
I have got a nylon one.
Yeah. Because let's just we're using the same microphones. So we're using a Neumann KM184, and we're using a nylon pick, 1mm Dunlop, and here we go. Nice, some strumming. Well, I can definitely tell there's a difference between these, even though the body is the same size, but because of the 12th fret, it kind of seems to me that there's a difference. Does it make sense?
Yeah, try play what I think 12 fretters sound really good for is finger picking. It seems the point of a 12 fret, well, not the point of a 12 fret, but the reality of a 12 fret is it puts the bridge closer to the middle of the guitar, which a lot of people seem to think gives like more tone and more sustain.
Yeah.
So why don't you try?
Well, why don't you play something and I'll hand you guitar over?
Okay.
You're more of a picky guy.
All right. Let's try.
That was nice. What was that called? Me like it.
This one's got a stronger mid-range character.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
You have a play. See what you think.
Yeah, definitely much more mid.
More body and mid, isn't it?
More body and mid, yeah.
Yeah.
That one is nice. That's more rounded off in the sound.
While Pete was playing there, I was just having a little feel on the inside of the guitar there. Can I just see that? Yeah. So traditionally, in the 30s, some of these Depression era guitars had ladder bracing. So instead of it being an X bracing, it was like ladder bracing like that.
Yeah. This is an X though, isn't it?
Which yeah, so Martin's always going to use the X, and it just gives a little bit more high end and more.
It's kind of their thing, you know. They did that in 1845 or something. They perfected that their way of.
In 1761,
yeah, during the good
just
days,
as Neil Armstrong was landing on the moon.
It's just insane how long ago that is, isn't it?
So that they're both.
Yeah. Anyway, so, but
play some blues. Play some blues.
Okay, play some blues. Right. So I'm taking the pick over. So my Gravity Danish pick, Pete. All right.
I've never tried those.
Have you not?
I'll try it.
Yeah, you try it in a minute.
I feel that moment maybe arising.
Danish Pete.
Oh, that's small.
It's small. Yeah, man.
This something about that 12th fret is really that I think that for kind of if you a bit more sparkly strummy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a big strumming guitar, but
no.
This one's got that kind of mid-range push and.
Which leads me on. Can you hand me that one over there?
Yes.
Please.
Shall we stay?
Shall we stay?
Let's stay 14 fret, shall we?
Yeah, let's do that. And then we can compare the.
Okay, so
the big one to the.
Play a couple of things on that, and then we'll just hand you.
What
this
do you mean,
one.
like strumming, dummy? That's a bit kind of like Tom Petty kind of thing, there, wasn't it? What are you hearing?
Kind of as you'd expect, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bigger, a bit louder, a bit more treble.
Yeah.
Just
Exactly
just
what you
more.
would expect. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's more. Play some of your finger bluesy style on that one, and I'll hand you this one. What do you think?
Yeah, that one's got the sort of chewier mid-range, bit more projecting in the mids, and this one a little bit more bottom and top. There's not a huge amount in it.
No.
Not a huge amount in
There's
it.
still some in it though, isn't there?
Yeah,
You
I
know.
mean, there's more volume in this guitar, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
And I think if you were going for a kind of a specific blues picker, I'd probably go with a smaller body.
Well, this one here.
Well, either.
Either, yeah.
But if you were going for a guitar that you wanted to strum a bit more and just a kind of a more general all-rounder, I'd probably go with a slightly bigger body.
Yeah.
Because there's no doubt that you get more kind of... It's got versions of the same voice, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's Martin guitar, isn't it?
Yeah. What
Guitar.
what were your impressions? Because you're sat over there. What were you hearing?
I just hear.
My hole is pointing away from
your
me.
hole is pointing away from me again. I am. This. There's just a bit more in this.
Yeah.
But in a way, I kind of prefer the sound of this one.
Mm.
I don't know.
Depends what you're playing. Yeah. And I tell you one thing I do like is all of these guitars have 24.9 scale length, which is. It's not a short scale length, but it's shorter than the kind of 25.5 or thereabouts Dreadnought standard. So you get a little more purchase. You know, the strings aren't under as much tension for the same pitch.
Yeah.
And these feel like 12s to me, not 13s.
Yeah, I think they put 12s on these guitars and
so you can
13s
really
on the Dreadnoughts. Also, the neck. The neck is the 1 3/4, but it's that Performing Artist tapered neck that they've used, which feels really nice.
It does. I mean, there's ever so slight hint of V down there. Not a huge amount.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, which is great for the thumb over the top.
As we talked about before, that Bosch.
I really like the way the bottom end comes out of this guitar.
Yeah, I can hear that now, completely different.
Yeah.
Anyway, you should really go and try these out for yourself, have a listen, because of course it sounds different when you are sitting with the guitar and listening this way, instead of listening through your iPhone, which we suggest that you don't do. Put some headphones in or listen to some nice speakers to get the full effect. Any more to say?
I don't think so.
I think they're just great.
17 series, new for 2016.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're happy.
I think we're happy. I think we play a bit more, and then we say goodbye. This was the 17 series Martin guitars. Whiskey Sunset.
Black Smoke.
I am Pete.
I'm Mick.
And this is Guitar Paradiso on Andertons TV.